Now, if you misbehave, your behavior will be on record. All right, so let's start with verbs. So a very simple definition of verbs is that they are action words. They are action words. Action words. All right. Simple definition which students learn in class 1, 2 also. Now, the kind of questions they will give you will be, one would be choose the verb among the following options. For example, they give you 4 options. One is custom, one is accustomed, but you should know the meanings also of that. One is customarily, and another is customer. You see, all are very similar words, Manik Shrotia, right? So now you have to, the question in the paper was that identify the verb, which is a verb. Can anyone take a guess at this? Someone from class 5, I would like to do. Jasraj, do you know the meanings of all the words? No. Jasraj can't hear me? Okay. Ishani?
Yes, sir.
Do you know the meanings of all the words over here which are given as the options?
No, sir.
No, sir. But let's suppose this was a question. So can you take a guess which would be a verb? No idea, right? Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, Gia, would you want to go ahead? Malik has raised his hand. Some other people are raising their hands. I'll look at all the raised hands in a while. Malik, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think so that customarily is a verb over here.
No, customary is not a verb. Okay, so here, see, custom, this word is a noun. Is a noun. It is our custom that we, put tika after our prayers, right? So it's a custom, it's a tradition. Customarily, in a particular way, ly usually are adverbs, right? Words ending in ly are usually adverbs, right? So this is an adverb. Customer again is a noun, right? Accustom means, you get used to something. So accustom is a verb. We have to be a little careful about, the parts of speech. You know what are adverbs? Adverbs add more meaning to verbs. Verbs are action words. Nouns, we have already discussed. Pronouns, we have already discussed. Prepositions, conjunctions, we'll do, right, in a while. Now, don't get class 5, don't get troubled because this was not a class 5 question. This was actually a class 6 question that I gave you, right? So don't get worried about it. Okay. Then, so this is one kind of a question that they might give you, that identify the verb amongst the given words. For example, the next one says forcible, enforce, forceful, and enforceable. Forcible, F-O-R-C-I-B-L-E, enforce, forceful, and enforceable. What could be the verb? Can you type in your answers? I'll give you the words. The words were forcible, F-O-R-C-I-B-L-E. Another was enforce, E-N-F-O-R-C-E. Then was forceful, something to the pen, forceful. And another was Enforceable. Enforceable. Can you type in your answers? I'm getting some answers. Let me see. Okay, very good. I'm getting some right answers as well. Okay, I have got Saransh, Niyati, Priyanshi, Vivan, Manik, and Manik, don't keep on sending the answers again and again. Okay, Shruti, right? So all of them have sent me the right answers. Enforce, right? Good. Actually, uh, so all of you have sent me the right answers. You are saying enforce is the verb, right? Forceful is not a verb. Abdullah Israr, what part of speech would be forceful? Abdullah insisted that he goes to Gwalior in a forceful manner. No idea. Arazak Singh Dasila, what part of speech is forceful? No idea. Aditi Belwal, no idea. It's an adjective. Don't sleep, Aditi. It's an adjective. Okay, it's an adjective because it describes the noun. Okay, so please be careful about such kind of questions, class 6 especially. Okay, class 5 need not worry too much about this, right? Okay, then they ask you for some kind of options which are correct or incorrect, and there they are actually testing you on the word meanings more than anything else. For example, there was a question which said, if you say you are not happy with something, what would you do? Argue, complain, say, or ask? All of you know the answer, I think. If you're not happy with something, would you argue or would you complain? Aparajita.
So complain.
Yes, great. Right, so these kind of questions are there. Then let me first now get to something very important. You know, there are two different kinds of verbs which we get. One is a transitive verb. Transitive. Does anyone know the meaning of the word transitive? Transition? What is the meaning of the word transition? To move from one place to another? Yes, transition. Right? So when we talk about transitive, we are actually talking about where the verb moves from the subject. It goes from the subject to the object. Last time, if you would have watched my videos or you were in the class, you would remember what is a subject and what is an object. Subject is the doer of the action, object is the receiver of the action. So, for example, if I say, Swati ma'am, Swati madam, Swati madam threw the ball. So what is happening? Is the action moving from Swati ma'am's hand to the ball or not? Yes or no? Yes. Right?
Yes, sir.
So this is a transitive verb. For example, if I say Aprajita, Aprajita hit the dog. She shouldn't be doing this, but she did it. Right? So what happened? The action moved from Aprajita to the dog. Right? So both of them are examples of transitive verbs. Okay, they are transitive verbs. Now, at the same time, what happens is sometimes the action does not move from the subject to the object. So that's called an intransitive verb. Right? Where the action remains with the subject. It does not move to the object. It does not move to the object. So for example, if I say Pramiti Pramiti jumps. She's a jumping jack, right? She keeps jumping. So, but is the action going from Pramiti to someone else? No, right? So she is here and she is jumping. The action remains with her. It does not go to the ground. It does not go to the wall. So this jumps is an intransitive verb, right? So this is something which you have to keep in mind. Aradhak. Aradhak is a naughty boy. Aradhak sleeps. Is the action going from Aradhak to someone else? No, it remains with Aradhak. He's sleeping, right? So it's an intransitive verb, right? So when the action remains with the subject, with the doer of the action, the verb becomes an intransitive verb. Just keep that in mind too. Okay, so they may ask you to identify transitive and intransitive verbs. Third category that they might ask you, just see, this class is very specific. It's not a class on verbs as such. It's a class very specifically targeted towards the Olympiads. Okay. Now the third one is subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement. How the verb agrees with the subject. Should it be singular? Should it be plural? Now, when I talk about a singular verb always ends in an S. So for it, please switch off your mics. Please don't create a ruckus in the class. Aditi studies. Studies. So this verb, which is ending in an S, is a singular verb. A plural verb, on the other hand, does not have an S. Just remember this, right? For example, if I say the boys play, Play, right? So it's not plays, it's play. So it's a plural verb. So remember, a verb which ends in an S is always going to be singular, and the verb which does not end in an S, that's always going to be plural. Now, something very, very important. When we talk about pronouns, right? I, you, we, they will all take plural verbs. They will take plural verbs. Remember this. Plural verbs. So I jump, you jump, we jump, they jump. Okay, all these pronouns will take plural verbs. Okay, when I talk about he, she, it, they will all take singular verbs. They will all take singular verbs. So jumps. It jumps, she jumps, he jumps. Right? बस आपको जो याद रखने का है, हिंदी में बोल रहे हैं, वो ये है कि प्लूरल जो वर्ब होता है उसमें एस नहीं होता, और जो सिंगुलर वर्ब होता है उसके एंड में एस होता है. And these are the pronouns that take singular verbs, and these are the pronouns that take plural verbs. Clear till here? Anybody has a doubt? No. Okay, let's move ahead then. Now, for example, yes, he does not play. So this verb, although I told you that he will take a plural verb, but the moment I put does or does not, or don't or do not, the verb becomes singular. The verb becomes plural. The verb becomes plural. Right? So all the words like does not, and their contractions, right? There should be a gap here. 1 minute. do, don't, right? They will all take plural verbs, right? And also remember, very, very important, with I, we, they. I will not say does. I will say do. I do, we do, they do, or they don't, right? But when I talk about he, she, it, right? It will be does and doesn't, or does not. He doesn't, she doesn't, it doesn't. So I have heard many a times students saying he don't. That's wrong. He doesn't. See, he does not play. Here the second verb, which was play, was plural. And does, already the singular verb was there. It's an auxiliary verb, does, right? So remember this. And the same thing happens with have and has. So have is a part here and has is a part here. I, we, they have, he, she, it has. Just remember this. Okay, don't have to copy it down really, Gia. I'll put it up on YouTube, everything. Don't worry. Right? So I, we, they, do not, have. Just pay attention. He, she, it, does, doesn't, has. Okay? So this is something which is very important about subject-verb agreement. Of course, there are many other rules with subject-verb agreement, right? So which we'll do maybe a little quickly. Any two verbs which are joined with and, any two different verbs, right? They will take a plural. For example, if I say Gia and Vivan are friends. I'm not saying is friends, are friends. Okay, very, very important. So any two or more verbs joined with an and will take a plural if they are referring to two different things. But if they are referring to the same thing, then they will take a singular. For example, if I say the class captain, see, I'm writing class and captain both in capitals. Why? Because I'm referring to a position. The class captain and maths topper and maths topper is an intelligent student. Here I'm referring to the single person who's the class captain as well as the maths topper. Right? Remember this. And how do we get to know? Because there is no the before the second position. Okay, just remember this. Understood? All right. All right. So the class captain and maths topper is an intelligent student. But if I say, now a similar sentence would be, my friend philosopher and guide is present. So I'm referring to the same person who acts as my friend, my philosopher, and my guide. Just remember this. Okay? If I'm referring to the same person, I will not use a plural verb, I will use a singular verb. But if I'm referring to two different people, of course, then I will use a different verb. For example, if I say the director and the actor, see, I'm not writing a capital A for the actor because director is a position, actor is not a position. It's just a common noun, right? And the actor are good friends. Are good friends. Here I'm referring to two different people. Maybe I'm referring to, I don't know the directors of today. Maybe let's take an old director, maybe V. Shantaram or Raj Kapoor, let's say. Right? So Raj Kapoor is the director here. Okay, and actor, maybe Dilip Kumar is the actor, right? So there are two different people over here that we are referring to. So thus keep this in mind, children. If there are two different people, then they will take a plural. If there are no two different people, they will take a singular. Just remember this. Okay. Then another problem, my dear children, I'm see there are multiple rules with subject verb agreement, but we are going to focus on the ones which will be handy for you in the examination, right? I'm also referring now to someone with an apostrophe. For example, let's say Jasraj. So Jasrajas and Gunvir's mothers. Two different people, right? One is Jasraj's mother, another is Gunvir's mother, which means that they are not brothers, right? So Jasraj's and Gunvir's mothers are friends. So I'm referring to two different people. Okay, but if I say Aisha's, Aisha and Disha is a elder sister. Aisha and Disha's mother is a good cook. So they are sisters and they have a single mother, right? So here this word is referring to the mother which belongs to both of them. And also look at this. I did not say Aisha's and Disha's mother. I said Aisha and Disha's mother. So the second noun will take the apostrophe there. Just be careful. Okay, Aisha and Disha's mother is a good cook. Great. Now, what else do they ask you? Let me just look at that. Otherwise, I can just go on and on for another 3 hours about subject verb agreement, which is not what I want to do right now. Yeah, simple questions they are asking. Okay. All the pronouns like each, every, okay, they take a singular verb. Singular verb. For example, if I say, what's happened to the pen? Each of you, now you will solve this. What should it be? Aradhak, each of you has or have to study. Be quick, Dasila. It has to be singular, has. Each of you has to study, not have. Because the moment I said each, every, you, indefinite pronoun, you take singular, right? And also at the same time, somebody, nobody, all the words with somebody, someone, all of them have will take a singular verb. Just remember this. Okay? So keep this in mind. Now, there can be some very, very complex sentences. For example, I might say, Aditi is one of those girls who like or likes flowers. Okay, so you might think that the verb will agree with Aditi, but no. Look at the sentence, look at the structure of the sentence. We are saying Aditi is one of those people, and these are the people who are liking. So, girls who like, will take a plural verb over here because the verb here is agreeing with girls. Understood? Okay. फ्लावर को कौन अच्छा मान रहा है, कौन अच्छा पसंद कर रहा है, वो गर्ल्स हैं, तो वर्ब प्लूरल है, वर्ब सिंगुलर नहीं है. If I say one of the girls is or are naughty, let's say. So out of many girls, how many are naughty? One. So the verb will agree with the one. So it will be a singular verb. You see the difference between the two sentences. The first one is different from the second one. In the first one, we were talking about a group who like, girls who like, and in the second one, we are saying is naughty. Understood? Yes, great. Okay. I think we'll have to spend another half an hour on this. Now, either or. Either or. When we talk about either or, children, we are talking about giving a choice. Now, if I say either Vivan or Niyati, either Vivan or Niyati is or are reading the newspaper. What should it be? Is or are? Are both of them reading at the same time, or is it one of them who is reading?
Sir, is.
Is. Right? So, या तो वो पढ़ रहा है या वो पढ़ रही है. One of them is reading. Either Vivan is reading or Niyati is reading. Right? So this is something which you need to keep in mind. With either or, if there are two singular verbs, right, then the verb will be singular subjects, right? But with either or, there is one problem that happens. If I say either Ishani, Eashani, or her friends. Either Ishani or her friends is or are swimming. या तो ईशानी तैर रही है या उसके दोस्त तैर रहे हैं. Right? So in this case, just remember there is something called the rule of proximity with either or. Proximity means something which is close. So the noun which is closer or the subject which is closer to the verb will depend on that. So here her friends is plural, so it will be are. जो verb के पास है either or में, verb उस पे model होगा. This is something which you need to remember. I'm saying in Hindi as well so that all of you understand. Right? So remember this, either Ishani or her friends are swimming. Okay, now time is running. Like this meeting will get over, we'll rejoin, we'll relog in, I'll put it on recording, right? So let's do that and I'll start the other part of the meeting. Okay, so I'm ending this. Pause recording, no.